This episode of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine was made possible by contributions from slaves like you. Spank you very much.
We'd like to say thank you to the United Kingdom government for bailing out the bankers, for socialism for the rich, for passing on the cost of capitalism to the poor. And we'd like to say 2, 4, 6, 8. We like marching. 2, 4, 6, 8. Capital must accumulate. 2, 4, 6, 8. Capital must accumulate. 2, 4, 6, 8. Capital must accumulate.
It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine.
Good morning, slaves, and welcome to another edition of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. A light mix of soft rock, jazz, and lounge. I am your host, the Stimulator, and the Summer of Rage got an early start. The UK and France have been buzzing with exciting riotous activity. Let's begin with the French.
Europe is attractive because of its people. It's a market where we can manufacture our products, where we can initiate research, and we believe that the creativity of the European people, above all, makes this market particularly attractive.
It's that European creativity that got his ass kidnapped. The time-honored tradition of bossnapping is back in vogue since factories are closing left and right. Sony Europe CEO Serge Fokker was just the latest victim. Yep, Mr. Fokker was held against his will overnight by pissed-off factory workers who were unsatisfied with their severance packages after it was announced that their factory was going to be closed.
The workers invaded the meeting room to show it is not only the union representatives who don't agree with the deal which has been offered to us, but the employees don't agree either.
Other recent boss snappings in France include 4 managers at Caterpillar, Luc Rousselet, director at 3M, and 2 bosses at a Michelin factory. Execs at the now closed Continental Tire factory escaped in the nick of time, probably because they knew they had been flagged for future boss snapping.
Oh, snap!
Taking over factories is fashionable again. Several Ford factories in the UK have been occupied and workers are demanding that the US car maker honor their contracts. In the heart of the British Empire, the 20 gangsters of the industrialized world convened to figure out how to spend your dollars. About 1 trillion of them. But outside the security perimeter, it was G20 Meltdown. Thousands took over London's financial district in a massive display of dissent against these gangsters. People were there from all over to push a number of agendas, from ending war to climate change. But on top of the list were the banksters.
We're having the government bail out all these bankers, all these corporations all over the world with our tax-paying dollars, our hard-earned money, our tax-paying dollars, and then the bankers are lending back our own money to us at interest.
Some folks had a smashing good time expressing their angst, but numerous reports confirmed that the majority of the protesters were peaceful, and that police showed little or no restraint in attacking them. The same cannot be said about the anti-NATO protests across the Channel in Strasbourg, France. Protesters threw rocks at police and set buildings on fire to show their discontent at the proposed surge in troops in Afghanistan. Once again, Mr. Obama took a shit on all the suckers who voted for him by solidifying the warmongering partnership between the US and Europe and by stating that yes, we can continue killing brown people.
We must renew this relationship for a new generation, in a new century.
few of my viewers have wondered if protests are a total waste of fucking time. After all, in February of 2003, the largest mass demonstration in the world took place in opposition to the Iraq War. And what did George W. Bush do? But to answer your question, if you have not been to a massive convergence, you're just gonna have to find out for your fucking self. On a personal level, these events connect me with some badass motherfuckers who are dedicating their lives to the motherfucking revolution. In this world of instant tweeting communications, many feel that posting links and information is their form of activism. Protests take you out of your Facebook group comfort and in contact with real people and, well, real pigs. Your body adds to the numbers of peeps acting in the real world to reclaim what is rightfully ours, our motherfucking public space. It's a simple act of defiance to those who'd rather see you rot in fear on your living room lazy boy while watching American Idol. Note, protests are not the be-all end-all of activism, but they act as a classroom to those getting their feet wet in the resistance, and for others it serves as fuel for inspiration. And hey, like in Seattle and in Prague, sometimes we fucking win. Anger against British banks has been building up for some time. Back in February, angry citizens showed up at the Royal Bank of Scotland and pelted the banksters with snowballs. Later in the year, this ballsy duo from Don't Panic magazine were asking the banksters to GBFMYC.
Excuse me, sir. Do you work for RBS? Yep. Do you? Yeah. We're taking money from RBS employees today. It's for GBFMYC. What's that? Give us back our fucking money, you cunts.
This week, I bring you Hayden Prowse and Carmen Fishwick of Don't Panic magazine. Hey y'all, how the fuck are you?
I'm all fucking right. How the fuck are you?
I'm all fucking right too.
Why the fuck are you asking the banksters to give us back our fucking money, you cunts?
I think people here and across the world are pretty pissed off that so much money's been funneled into these institutions. I think it's something like $8 trillion that's been given or promised to financial institutions worldwide as a result of this crash, and as a direct result of irresponsible behaviour by the likes of Fred Goodwin. And I think people feel that if we're going to spend that kind of money on these organisations, then we need some real hardcore concrete promises that there's going to be some serious regulation.
Is that why people are smashing windows in downtown London?
Generally, people are very angry and they're wanting to vent their anger, and RBS is the obvious target.
Who the fuck are the G20?
Fucking G20 are a new entity. I think people are used to hearing about G7 and G8, and this is a new thing. You have countries in there like India and Argentina and South Africa that you're not used to seeing necessarily, and I think that is reflected in people's reactions to this meeting. It's not just your traditional white guys that have been ruining the world since time immemorial. It's a new bunch of people as well.
Is this the beginning of the summer of rage?
If people keep losing their jobs at such a rate, and it is affecting people on the ground, then people will hopefully continue to protest.
I would like to think that the rage and the anger over this would continue on through the summer and spawn some interesting direct action behaviour, antics. But I'm not sure if people are going to get distracted by Big Brother and other such fascinating cultural things.
And that about does it for this edition of It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. Mad props to the following slaves for liberating some American currency for the cause: Stuart, Ted, Hans, Mike, Bart, Carl, Alyssa, Sean, Michael, Stelislav, Graymon, Linda, Micah, Peter, Eric, Bernd, Damis, Planet, Robbie, Matthew, and Flip. Arigato. If you'd like to comment on this show, or for links on the G20 riot porn, just visit my fucking website, stimulator.tv. Now drop it like it's hot.
Remember, kids, you can podcast high-quality video of this show at submedia.tv.